Okay. So here we are, talking about crushes. More specifically, mine. To me, just to kind of define what I say a crush is, I have different types of crushes. There's what I call the major crush, where it's a girl that I know I like for who she is. She's cute and all the little fixins. Those I can call the major crushes. Then there are just generic crushes, which I call are based purely mainly on looks or physical crushes, however you want to look at it. But I call them general crushes. And then I have what I call mini crushes, MINI, as in small ones. Those are the ones that's like a kind of a fleeting, like, I wonder what it'd be like to date her. That's what I call a mini crush. Which is also funny because it sounds like the word many as in MANY, like multiples. So I find that funny. So, but because I have a lot of them, I'm just like, what would it be like to date this chick? Why there's something fascinating about something she said, did, or act, like a celebrity, for example. Like, it's just a curious thing, but not really anything serious because I don't know you personally. I don't have real major crushes on people I don't know. It's always on people I know that's major. Anything else is just purely based on looks. So, throughout my life, I've had my fair share of general crushes and mini crushes. And I've had about maybe like 2 major crushes. Maybe. One that comes to mind at this moment. I can't think if I've had another one. Yeah. So, well, actually, no, I've had a couple, but I guess I should have had a subset of the major crush. But anyway. So, with this type of situation, the point of me talking about this is that with every single time I've had a crush on any female, it's always been usually fleeting, except for the one major crush I've ever had in my entire life. The other semi-major crushes I've had, they were strong, but not strong enough for me to dwell on it for more than maybe a month at most. But, okay, now I remember the other one I was thinking about. Okay, yeah, I have had 2. But the second one was still fleeting once I came to my senses. It was just a strong feeling for an unhealthy probably about time, but it wasn't too unhealthy in my opinion. But anyway. So, yeah, I have many little crushes over the years. I've had girls like, wow, she's really cute. And liked her, but I didn't pursue anything because it's a waste of my time, hers, and also I was young. So, and then just to give a little background, my parents are divorced, so I don't have the most healthiest outlook on relationships as it is. So I just figured, what's the point? So and then when it comes to my major crushes, the ones we're actually going to spend the bulk of this video talking about, first we're going to talk about the second one. We're going to swing back to the first one. The second one was in high school, and the girl, when I saw her smile, my heart went a-fluttering. But, unfortunately for me, her mind was more like, wow, this seemed like a cool kid. Which, obviously, is not the perspective you want when you like someone. You want them to think, oh, I want to date you too. But that was not the perspective she had. Unfortunately for me, my crushing feelings, or whatever you want to call them, were made very obvious and plain when I basically bought her a Build-A-Bear and chocolate when she told me she was feeling sad about something going on in her family. And mind you, we've only known each other for about a week. Yeah, that's pretty sad, right? So, and my mother also was thinking to herself when she was taking me to the store to get the Build-A-Bear, she's like, how long have you known this girl? Is she your girlfriend? And I was like, no, I've only known her for like a week or a month or something like that. And then for a very short period of time, and then she was like, no, she's not my girlfriend, she's just a friend. Because that is the honest truth. We are just friends. And so about that, but my mother was a little bit like, my son's about to get heartbroken. About how to tell. I feel like that was what was in her mind based on her facial expression and hindsight talking to her. So, but I didn't care at the time. I was like, hey, I like this chick. I don't care what the outcome is. I prefer a relationship, but hey, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So after talking to her and interacting with her and everything, it became very apparent that I liked her. And she informed me that she did not feel the same way. So yeah, that was a bit crushing, hence the term crush. So through that I realized, well, that's just life. It's just another example of why I should be single. Because my crush does not return my feelings. And then now to the first major crush, and the number one major crush I've ever had in my entire life is my childhood crush. I was living in Hawaii. The most beautiful place I've ever lived. Sorry. But anyway, she was the most amazing person one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire freaking life. Granted, I haven't seen her in forever, like legit, I haven't seen her since 4th grade, so she might have changed a lot since then. I'd have no idea. Legit, I know very little. Like, I message her every once in a while, we talk every once in a while, but I really don't know like how much her personality is different from back then, how much I'm just holding on to nostalgia of the place I used to live and how happy I was as a child and all that jazz. So it could be all just a fantasy in my head at this point, and then I see her or meet her again and I'm just like, wow, I had a major crush on you for basically 90% of my life, and this is not what I thought seeing you again would be like. Anyway, who is to freaking say? So with that in mind, I met her, like I said, and I met her in 2nd grade in Hawaii. Loved every moment I spent with her. Honestly, one of the few people in the world I can honestly say I've never had an annoyed moment with her. Like most people, I've had some moment around them where I was annoyed or upset, and there goes the lawnmower again. Oh well, we lasted a nice bit of time. Hopefully y'all can't hear it. If you do, oh well. But as I was saying, so with that in mind, I just thought, she's cool. She's a bit of a tomboy. She's a pretty cool person. I like hanging out with her. She's cute. Yeah, I would like to pursue something with her. But again, we were in elementary school. And this is pretty fresh out my parents' divorce. So I had no confidence in relationships at this time. So really what I wanted was just to have her in my life forever and ever. Which I know in some degrees, like, isn't that just basically a marriage if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone? Yeah, basically, I want to be married to her, but not literally by the concepts of my own mind. I just knew that that's what I wanted at the time. And I didn't know any other way to express those feelings other than maybe using the L-O-V-E word. But I was like, eh. Which I did actually say those words to her, by the way. And they were reciprocated, which is the most beautiful thing I can actually say have ever happened in a relationship, is having those words be reciprocated. But, again, nothing came of that because we were in elementary school and I was still fresh out of a parental divorce, so I had no confidence in relationships on that degree. So as long as I had her in my life, I was happy. But unfortunately, being a child of divorce and a military child, moving was inevitable, especially when your parents have joint custody. So, yay. So the whole moving back and forth. So when I moved from Hawaii, it was the only move I can think of that I've ever cried. Because one, I lost her and my other childhood best friend, but that's just a side note. Not the point of the video. But yeah, losing her, and I bawled my eyes out. And my mother told me that if I didn't want to go, I could actually stay. Because this was during the time frame when my dad's turn to have custody or watch me or whatever you want to say. She said if I didn't want to go, didn't have to. Which, always a part of me is like, man, why didn't I choose to stay in Hawaii? You idiot! But if I didn't do that, then I would have met my best friend that's in the other room. So, yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad. And plus, I learned a lot of things out here in the mainland, so I can't really get too mad. It's just as long as like, gosh darn it, Devin, you could have came here later. Or never. Preferably never. Anyway, so back to the point of the video, where I get completely sidetracked on my love of Hawaii. My true love. Probably the only love. Anyway, back to the video. I'm sorry, I'm getting way too distracted here. So, but yeah, so after that situation kind of flunked, I kind of had no interest. Like I said, parents divorced, losing my #1 major crush, and I just didn't want to pursue anything. And part of me was kind of holding out on this weird mental idea that me and her would ever get back together, which I should have known would never happen, because the fates don't work that way. Along with that, years later in high school, when me and her were talking one day, because I was still kind of holding out, like I said, for her, and she had pointed out that I should get used to the idea of being in a relationship, which in my mind was like, can I get used to that idea with you? Like, I don't remember if I actually said that to her, but I do remember her saying something on the lines of like, she didn't want to start our relationship on a long distance thing, or she doesn't believe in long distance, something like that. So I'm like, okay, well, she gave me the advice to go and pursue, and she doesn't want to start long distance. So I guess I have no choice. So in that moment, I finally was like, okay, I might actually allow myself to be in a relationship, because apparently that's the only way I'm going to get used to the idea of being because I always said that I'm so used to being a me, how the heck am I supposed to get used to being a we? But I guess that's just life. And after trying that, I come to the conclusion that it's not worth the trouble. But like I said, based on the crushes I've had over the years, from the small ones to the major ones and everything in between, it just, nothing ever comes out of a crush. At least for me personally, legit, every crush I've ever had, nothing came out of it. Rather, I didn't pursue, she didn't pursue, or whatever. Life just said no. So, first reason why I say that I shouldn't be single is because life says no to crushes. So if life say no to crushes, the girls that I'm already interested in, then why the fuck should I give 2 F's about anything else? Exactly. So get ready for part 2 that is coming about online dating. If you watch, see you there. Peace out.